Hey, Supernatural fans, we're here at an earlier time to share with you guys so much about Supernatural since it's the mid-season finale. Season 12, Episode 8, Lotus. You don't want to miss it. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Carry on my wayward son.
There'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more. Oh, we've got
the lights.
Lights, music, action, Supernatural. Katie and I are here, you guys. My name is Lyndsey Wegner. You can tweet me at Lyndsey Wegner. And I'm joined by Katie Campbell.
Hey guys, you can find me on Twitter at Katie Campbell. That's Katie with 3 E's Campbell.
And we're going to talk to you guys all about Supernatural Season 12, Episode 8, Lotus. Our mid-season finale happened today. Anyone else taking a deep breath like I am right now?
Yeah.
Great episode. This whole season so far for me has been incredible. Each episode just keeps building and building. And we finally got to see a very, very important man to this season so far. Katie, initial thoughts about this week's episode?
Yeah, I loved it. We got some answers with Mr. Ketch. We got to see his face. We got everybody. Oh, this is the best part of the song. As I rose above the noise. This song is so good. So we got so much in this episode. We got all of the characters we want to see. We got Rowena, we have Cass, Crowley, the boys. We got Mr. Ketch, we got Lucifer. It's just a little bit of everything, and that's what I love. I love getting those. Well, we didn't have Mary. That's
No
something
Mary.
that we didn't have. But I love these episodes that include a lot of people.
And we're left hanging until
They do it to
January
us.
26th.
They know how to do it.
They do. They know how to leave us hanging without even, there was no need to kill anyone this episode. They left us hanging with two major crazy things that we'll get into the more we talk about this episode. Let's start off in the church. We find out that Wallace Parker, this billionaire, is dead. We see a deacon, the archbishop walks by, and the deacon is listening to this on the TV, and the archbishop tells him to turn it off. And he apologizes because he knows that this billionaire was a huge donor to the church. So this is kind of a big deal, but he's gone. But we also know something's up with this archbishop because as he's walking down the hallway, all the crosses are flipping, which we know that's what that means, Katie. What does it mean?
Lucifer.
It's Lucifer.
Although, like, I was thinking about it, and a lot of these people that are, wherever Lucifer is, he's in the bodies of whoever he's in, and all of the people that are in these vessels' lives, they all end up being collateral damage at some point, you know? So if that's happening, I think I would just pack up and run. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to try to fix this, do an internal exorcism here. Like
the other priests?
The priest who, yeah.
But
like,
they don't know this. They don't know that whoever vessel that Lucifer is taking, that they're going to die.
But everybody always dies.
But they can't predict that. And so they felt like it was...
Does anyone read the paper? Or read
But they
the
don't
news?
know, but it's not, they're not saying Lucifer did this or some evil spirit did this. It's all kept under wraps. It's propaganda left by the news and the reporters saying something different happened. Remember a couple episodes ago where they said, well, how on earth is the news going to report this? And it's never going to be something that's what really
It's going to be spun differently. Right, but if that was happening, though, regardless, if you don't know what it is, like, something's fishy, the crucifixes are, you know, turning upside down, seems like a demon. And then when, you know, what's his name, Vince was acting different, too, and scary, and you saw him kill somebody, wouldn't you just want to leave, like, get out of town?
I'd want to peace out. If that's why the girl did, his assistant did, or PR chick, totally left. She knew something was up. But Tommy, you also have, what's it called? You hold that you're friends with the person, like, loyalty. There's some sort of loyalty there where he's like, this isn't the person that I know, but he's still my bandmate. He's still the singer. He's still.
You want to save him?
Yeah, want to figure out what's going on.
I guess. Do you think if any of those people ran for the hills, that Lucifer would take the time to go find them because
Probably.
they ran?
Absolutely.
So you're out of luck either way.
You're screwed either way.
Yeah, perfect.
Well, we get to the morgue, and Cass and Crowley are already there. Sam and Dean are not happy that they're actually already there.
Agents.
And Crowley was Agent Zappa, which Sam's totally annoyed with. And once again, it's Lucifer's vessels that he's using. He was in this Wallace Parker guy. Now he was in the Archbishop. He's going after celebrities, moguls, big-time people, because he's showing them, look, I can do bigger and better, and it's going to keep getting worse. The more power he has by taking the bodies of people that are famous in whatever area of business it is, whether it's a rock star, whether it's a celebrity, whether it's a bishop. These are major people.
It was really smart to go into the President of the United
Or
States.
smart. Like, how brilliant that I couldn't figure out who it was at first, 'cause I was wondering if they were going to have some sort of cameo person, but that's the best thing they can do. They also noticed that in the photos they had of the bishop, there's no longer a cross that he's wearing when he's making public appearances, because he can't be wearing that.
Okay. He also didn't have a smile in the picture that he wasn't wearing a cross, and that's the first thing I
Katie noticed.
I'm like, he's not smiling. Something's up. Something's different.
I kind of do that with my fantasy football team.
Yeah?
When I used to draft, if I couldn't decide between two players, if somebody had a smile on their face in their like player picture, I'd choose them over somebody that looked angry, because I was like, well, someone that's happy should do better.
Right. Okay. There you go.
So he wasn't smiling. Katie knew something was up, that it was Lucifer.
And he wasn't wearing the cross as well.
So Sam and Dean find the deacon bleeding. They actually said they called for a secret exorcism because they knew something was up with the bishop. This is where you were saying they should have just gotten the heck out of Dodge. Instead, they wanted to save the archbishop. And the nuns are dead. The priests are hung. All the crosses are flipped. And they get upstairs, and the bishop is also dead.
Did the one priest die, the one that was giving them
I
information?
don't think so. I don't think so. I think he survived because he was still alive.
He was dying in
So
front of their faces.
dying, but I think I hope they were able to save him.
Okay.
No, but I hope they were.
Okay.
Then we see a man praying, and he accepts guidance, says yes. We immediately know this is once again Lucifer.
Well, I thought it's interesting. Lucifer, that's a smart move to go into the President of the United States. He can do a lot of things. He has Secret Service to use and do some things that he wants with the boys. But the president calling upon, I think he thought it was God, right? I think he was calling to God to enter my vessel. And Lucifer was coming to him saying like, oh, or at least an angel that's going to do good things in the world and do charity and all these good things that you want. I promise that to you. Of course, he's lying. He has his own agenda. But I think he really was thinking, let's put God down here, and that'll help the world.
Let's remember that Lucifer is an angel. He's a fallen angel.
Right.
So he can tell the president, I am an angel.
Right. He's not
He's
lying.
he's not essentially
there.
lying, but he's lie by omission, not telling the complete truth. I agree with you. I think that because as far as we know in the next scene we see, he's very spiritual man. He obviously prays on a regular basis, so this wasn't out of his realm to pray and ask for guidance and everything and accept the Lord into his life, is what he was thinking, or accept the Spirit into his life. And I thought it was really interesting seeing Lucifer in his head talk to, it's kind of like when Castiel was able to control himself at times, but then Lucifer is able to also take over. It's the same thing with Jeff and then Lucifer. It was like Lucifer was talking to Jeff and they were going back and forth and he was kind of disappearing around the chair in the black like headspace.
Right.
I thought that was a really neat trick. And as he's talking about this, the Secret Service man comes in and Lucifer kills him, and it ends up being a cerebral hemorrhage. And the basically crew of the president, the core people, all come in, and Kelly asks him, to say a prayer, since this is what he regularly does. And so he starts praying, but with his hand over the Bible, starts burning.
He did it pretty well, like with
Covered it up?
Yeah, and well, with the hand burning, he was good to hold his composure there. But the prayer that he actually said was like, it was really good.
That's what I was going to ask you, what you thought of the prayer. It was believable.
It was believable, and he said just the right words you know, he wasn't going overboard and being all talking about God and loving God and all of that kind of stuff. But he said the right words for him to be Lucifer as well, to make these people at
Believe
peace and
and
believe
have-
that he's actually praying and he really means all this stuff.
I thought that was, I thought it was very believable on his part. And we do know that he is in, Katie, you pointed this out, Forester Estate, a presidential compound. It's in Indiana. And he makes this joke about nuking the enemy, which I feel like everyone's like worried that.
He was serious, though.
He was totally serious, but everyone just kind of laughed it off.
Well, they were scared at first.
And Kelly tells him the polls are up and that he is the most popular president in sitting history.
That's what he wants to hear.
That's what he wants to hear.
He wants
This
to
is
be
what he
popular.
wants.
He wants all the social media followers. He wants everybody to blindly follow him. He wants the power.
And so we also find out that the president, and I don't know if she's the Secretary of State, I don't know if she's just his assistant or his personal secretary or whatever she is, but they're hooking up on a fairly regular basis where she's sitting here talking about the fact that he's a widower, but that she wants to get married someday and have a baby someday.
Yeah, so how long ago was that? They never answered that
They never
question.
answered that, and she said that she wants to go public with it. So it seems like it's been going on for a while, especially if she's able to have a conversation about getting married and going public and having a baby.
And the way he was reacting to her talking about this was different than what I'm assuming Jeff used to react to. Because she said, I know you want to keep it under wraps and I want to go public. But Lucifer, as Jeff, was just sitting there looking at her like, oh, yeah, well, maybe we could do
Well,
it.
of course,
I don't know.
as soon as she says you'd make a great dad, I literally wrote down, uh-oh. This is not good, because we both knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, but I didn't think that she was going to get pregnant in this episode.
I didn't think it was going to happen in this episode either, but I knew that this was the end game. This is
Right.
what he wanted.
Yeah.
If she wasn't already, I guess she couldn't have been pregnant then, yeah, with Lucifer's baby. So Crowley's talking to one of the employees of the president, who was obviously undercover there with the president. She's a minion, and gets a little bit of information about kind of what's going on. Says there was a cerebral hemorrhage on one of the Secret Service men, so we know something's up. So Crowley at least knows where to kind of find them. And
She doing the autopsy or something? Because she said she was the one who signed off on the fact that
she
it was
signed
a
off that it was an
natural
accident, or that there was no foul play. Yeah, you're right. She signed off on it. And Crowley makes a joke. Can I get you without the flannel? No.
That is the best part of this episode. It's so funny.
One-liners, amazing.
And they always come from Crowley.
They do. That's why Crowley's your favorite.
I know.
So they all know now at this point that Lucifer is in the president. And Jeff is telling Rick that there are 2 cult members and they have plans to assassinate him, obviously this being Sam and Dean. And this is the head of his Secret Service, and he needs to eliminate them.
See, this is what I'm saying. It's a smart move to be the president in this situation because he could use the Secret Service and he's manipulating everything. And he says, keep it under wraps. I want you to be the head of this mission to take out these 2 cult members that are trying to assassinate me. But first the guy says, Rick, he says, should we put them under, what does he say, under surveillance or something? So do they actually do this?
I'm sure they do.
So they watch these people for a little bit, and if they're threats, they'll take them out?
I don't know if they necessarily take them out. I mean, they could put them in a place where you won't find them ever again, or a place that doesn't exist.
Oh.
I mean, they're locked up forever. Could be something like that. Could
Oh,
be.
that's
It could be
scary.
to get information from them. It could be one of a billion things.
Yeah.
And then we get Sam calling Mick, who you reminded me, this Mick and Rick should have named him 2 different names. We didn't need Rick in this episode with Mick.
Well, Mick has the accent.
Mick has the accent, but still, it's confusing
Yeah.
to have Mick and Rick in an episode.
Right.
Was not necessary. Didn't like that, sorry. So Sam calls Mick Mr. Ketch's inside man.
Okay. Why was he calling him? Because he just wanted help with the whole Lucifer thing?
I think he knew something was going down, And so he wanted to kind of like get their info on it, but then when he didn't answer, he just...
But they don't trust the men of letters, the British men of letters. You know, they can't really be trusted. They went through some weird things with Lady Bevel, and I don't think anybody's heard from Mick since he took Lady Bevel and was going to deal with her how he wanted to. And I just feel like we can't trust them, so why does Sam turn to him in that moment?
Well, I think that's why Dean feels a little bit betrayed later when Mr. Ketch points that out.
Yeah.
I don't know why he did that.
But what's going through Sam's head?
Lucifer isn't the president. Lucifer can kill anyone now at this point. He has more power than a lot of people.
Yeah.
So this is super dangerous. So this is high security, high risk. I think he felt the need that he had to get maybe backup on this one.
Okay.
Take as many people that can help them as possible.
But if they can't be trusted, that's a dangerous game. So he's taking a gamble there.
Well, and they also know that the president's going to be going to all these events. So what is he going to do at these events? Is this going to be like a mass killing, like you should kill yourself type of thing, convincing people certain things?
What a perfect gig for Lucifer, to go to these massive events where people listen to him.
It's pretty brilliant.
Yeah.
It's pretty brilliant of the writers to do this as well. So then we get a Rowena sighting. She's pleading with a man who apparently is her fiance.
Well, this fiance.
This
She's had
fiance.
several.
She's had multiple since we last saw her. Apparently he's dating this heiress, Mona, and he's had her investigated.
So was he after her money?
He was after her money, or at least he wanted to make sure that she was credible and
not after his?
And not after his. But he found nothing on her. Apparently she couldn't really find anything on him. Crowley comes in. This guy thinks that he's like there for the laundry, dry cleaning.
Or he's there. Maybe he's like the Uber guy to come pick up the bags, right?
No, because he handed him his stuff and he goes low starch.
Oh.
It was his dry cleaning bag.
That was his. I thought he was packing stuff up to leave.
He was.
But
he was also giving
packed his dirty laundry?
Well, he was giving it to. I'm sure that's the guy's house. So when he leaves the house, he puts the that's dry cleaning for that house. He sounds like he has multiple houses and multiple dry cleaning people.
Multiple fiancés.
Multiple fiancés, apparently. And Crowley kills him, and he explodes all over Rowena, and says that that's the sweetest thing he's ever done for her. And I thought she was going to be pissed because she has guts of this guy all over him. She's just relishing in it and like laughing. It was.
She's over this guy. She needs a new fiance.
Fantastic. Then we get Kelly with Jeff saying something's different, something's been changed, and that's when I knew it. I knew she was pregnant. Did you know she was pregnant then?
Yeah, but I just was shocked. I didn't think
that
we
it
were gonna
happened
get it
this
fast
quickly.
Yeah.
Then we get Castiel hearing some voices. Apparently, there's a surge in celestial energy, and the angel radio is going crazy. There is the new offspring of an angel and a human. This ties us right into the fact that we know now Lucifer has conceived a child with Kelly that is half human, half angel. And this is scary. Sam and Dean and Cass are now on their way to Indiana. Mm-hmm. The Secret Service pulled them over. They recognize the boys right away. A fight breaks out, but they're quickly overtaken by the Secret Security, which of course they would 4 against 2. Cass comes out of the car, but then we see this, I believe it was a Rolls Royce, got the jazz music playing, the fancy shoes come out.
Mr. Ketch.
Mr. Ketch.
Although they waited like a full minute before they actually showed his face.
I loved it. I loved it. I was like, build that intensity with the music and the shoes and the grenade launcher.
Okay, he said that he wasn't following them and that they're like a good dog. They come when they're called. So is this all because Sam did make that phone call, that the reason that the boys are saved at this point and Mr. Ketch was able to save them? Or is it because he is actually following them? We've seen him following them for a while.
Well, I think that he's telling the truth and that he only responded because Sam called Mick, which is what he says later on.
Yeah, but what about the other times when he was following them? Like the first couple episodes, we saw Mr. Ketch cleaning up the messes.
Was that Mr. Ketch following them, or was that Mick cleaning up?
No, that was Mr.
That
Ketch.
was Mr.
The
Ketch.
tattoo, and
the tattoo with the cross tattoo.
Mm-hmm. So what was that?
Maybe he's just staying a safe distance behind. Maybe he's not completely tailgating them. but he's there to clean up the messes that are being made, and maybe there hasn't been a mess that's been made lately.
But how does he know that if he's not following them?
I don't
So you
know.
believe him, though? You believe him
I
that
believe
he's
what
telling
he's
the
saying,
truth? Okay.
but only because of what Cass said too, because he tells Cass to clear the Secret Servicemen's memories so that they don't remember what just happened, and then he introduces himself as Arthur Ketch, the British man of letters, so debonair. And so what he says is Mick called him after Sam called him and hung up the phone, which they thought that he was in trouble. This is where we see Dean kind of upset and pissed that Sam kind of betrayed him like that. And basically, Mick asked them to join the Men of Letters and
Collaborate.
and collaborate. And Arthur is there encouraging them to say yes as well. And when he tells, what Cass asks him, or he tells Cass, am I telling the truth? And Cass says he is, but it's only like based on what he's currently saying. So
What do you say? The truth is substantial?
the truth is substantial or pertaining maybe to this one incident. But this is what he wants.
Or situational.
Situational. So it may be true that maybe he has been following them all along and he hasn't been telling them the truth about that, but that he's here right now because of what Mick
Okay,
said.
we like Mr. Ketch because he saved the boys in this moment right here.
Yes.
But he's also been built up to be this big bad, and the British Men of Letters is this huge story arc this season. So it's like they can't be good. It seems like it's like a fairy tale because he's got all these awesome weapons that, you know, you really don't have to work as hard, or things might just be easier to catch these monsters. And Mr. Ketch was there to save the day, and he's telling the truth, and he just wants to be friends and collaborate, and it's just not that simple because it's a huge story arc for the season. So I just don't know if I trust this guy.
There's a catch with Mr. Ketch.
That was a good one.
Catch with Ketch. There's a catch with Mr. Ketch. There's obviously going to be some sort of
Thank you.
there's going to be some sort of repercussion of them working with the British Men of Letters. We don't know what it is or why it's happening right now, but we know that there's going to be a catch to it.
Right.
And he pulls out this hyperbolic pulse generator that they use in exorcisms, which they point out might be able to be used on an angel, meaning Lucifer. And we do find out that Kelly, calling a friend, says she's pregnant. And
Really quick, I want to talk about some of those weapons that he brought
Sure.
up. Another one with the vampires. It changes their
Yes.
DNA for their blood to be, what did he say? It becomes lethal to the vampires. I just feel like these are really cool weapons. And how long have they been around?
well, that's the thing. They're so much more evolved than Sam and Dean, which is why it's so much easier for them to kill the monsters versus Sam and Dean having to hunt and it taking like a day or two. It looks like this British Men of Letters group, like they said, it's instantaneous almost.
So how can they be so mad at Sam and Dean? Like Lady Bevel was freaking out. You guys aren't doing it right. Well, they don't have the weapons that you have.
But maybe she's annoyed that they're not even willing and open to using those.
But maybe they are. I guess she's annoyed about them being friends with some of them.
I don't think it's more about it happening. I think it's more about the fact that they were friends with Benny. They let Ruby go for how long? They let
Right.
these people go. Kate is still out there. There are certain people that are out there with powers that they would not. The British Men of Letters would go, no, they're a monster. It's plain and simple. It's a done deal. You've done something bad. You're gone.
Right.
So technically, in her mind, Sam and Dean wouldn't be done for.
But maybe because they don't have this instantaneous kill, they get to know the monsters, and that's why it happens,
But how many people did Benny kill before he did good? And
Well,
how
it's
many
not
people?
black and white, you
how many
know?
people are dying? As Sam said a couple episodes ago, they're letting die, or he said it last week.
Mm-hmm.
How many innocent people are dying for the greater good? Where if they
Right.
kill the monster right away, we wouldn't have this problem.
True.
It's hard. It's a tough line. Toe of a line. Crowley teleports Kelly back to Sam and Dean, and they've now told her the truth about Jeff, who is AKA Lucifer.
We always have a little catch-up moment for somebody new.
Yeah.
This can't be real.
This is the king of hell. We've got an angel here, Sam and Dean, they're hunters. And they do know she's pregnant with Lucifer's baby. And they point this out by having her put her hand on the Bible. It burns the Bible.
Why does it burn when Lucifer was just able to kind of suppress the burn from coming? Because he had the Bible a lot longer than she just did.
Yes, I think that's also because he can control it because he knows this. Whereas this is a baby, this is a brand new life, so it's almost it has no idea what it's doing.
I mean, and how old is it? Like a day? So it already has this strong of a.
Well, it's one of those things where I kind of wonder in what was the movie a couple years ago? Twilight, where the baby like grows so rapidly.
Yeah.
That maybe this baby, it's an angel baby. Doesn't take 9 months to create. Maybe they created it, and it's one of those things that happens in 3 months.
Okay. All right.
And it develops quicker. I don't know. We're gonna obviously find out, which we'll more on that later. But she points out that Jeff says that this is the only thing he's ever created, and they're trying to convince her, but this is not Jeff saying this is Lucifer saying this. And I don't think they pointed out enough of the consequences of what would happen if this baby was born. Do you think they did that?
No, but like the fact that they said it's Lucifer's baby, that should be scary enough, right? That should scare her enough, especially when she saw her hand burned a Bible. Like, this is scary. That should be enough. Let's deal with some stuff.
But once you have that baby kicking inside you, it's like the mother has this. It's your child. You don't want anything to happen to it.
Yeah, but if it's gonna create evil in the
world,
she
doesn't believe that.
Well, she better believe it. What she just saw in front of her face, what happened with the pulse generator. She needs to believe it at this point.
Maybe she thinks she can somehow stop this.
No. She's about to unleash hell on the world again.
Well, Jeff is also unleashing hell on the world temporarily because he gave a full pardon to Charles Manson. And thankfully, Kelly calls Jeff. She says she needs to see him. He goes to meet her at a motel where the Secret Service sweep the place. Castiel's able to intervene and tell them the place is clean. The only person in there is Kelly. Go back to the car. So they tell him, Jeff, it's all clear. So Jeff goes in, and she says she can't have the baby. This is when Sam comes out of the bathroom using the hyperbolic pulse generator.
The way he said Sam, we've done this so many times. It was just like, I saw Mark
doing it.
Yeah.
That was great direction from the director this week, having him kind of play on the
I really
Lucifer.
Felt that connection between Lucifer and Sam and the history between them.
This is come on, dude. What else we got for
amazing.
me? And they are using this. I'm going to call it the egg. So they're lighting this whole room up, and they're working on it. And luckily, Rowena's able to create a spell as well. And it seems as though Lucifer is expelled from the president's body. But we both noticed it went into the air vent.
Yeah.
It did not completely go into the egg. It went into the air vent.
But here's the thing, though. Did it go into the cage? Did it go down to hell?
That's what I'm seeing. Everyone's kind of mentioning in the chat that Lucifer's back in
I also want to bring...
cage, but the cage is damaged, so he can still talk to Sam because of that. Gotta catch 'em all. Who said that? That was brilliant. Renji, gotta catch 'em all. All Pokemon.
Yeah, we gotta get all the
Gotta
monsters.
catch 'em all.
That's
Gotta catch all
funny.
the monsters.
Mr. Catch should use that as his little catchphrase, right? As his catchphrase,
As his
Lyndsey.
catchphrase.
Somebody
Because
in
we have
here,
a billion of them right now.
in the chat, Rowena says, "Why didn't the pulse generator work on Cass and Crowley? Didn't he say that any within distance?" That's a good point too.
Yes.
Or like once you're focusing it on someone, does it just?
I think so, and I think maybe there's a way. It looked like there were so many different symbols on that, so I don't know if that's meant for multiple different spirits or if there's some sort of code, like a combination. So if you turn one thing one way and turn it another way, it's going to go for Lucifer. I don't know.
Yeah.
But maybe you're right. Once it's focused on something, then it only specifically works on that because they had it focused on Lucifer. And then with Rowena doing the spell directly onto Lucifer,
The spell was to put him back in the cage.
that's what I'm thinking. And then then Crowley and Rowena were gone. They had already left the room. Castiel grabs Kelly
Why?
to escape the room.
Yeah.
So Sam and Dean are left in the room over the president's body, who's on the ground, alive.
They're trying to
and
wake him up.
They're trying to wake him up.
Why didn't they flee? Or why did Cass leave them behind and not take them with? Like, I mean, if anybody's going to be...
I think they just wanted to make sure that he was alive and okay, which was dumb, exactly. Just go, guys.
No.
He's alive. They know he's alive.
If anybody's going to be standing over his body, leave Kelly there.
But they can't. But the problem is they can't leave Kelly alone right now. They need to have Kelly with them because otherwise she could try and have the baby.
Okay, we'll leave Kelly there. Keep an eye on her through the window. Like, the boys don't have to be standing there.
No, they couldn't do that because then she would get away eventually. Which
We could catch her.
Sam saying, or Dean saying, we got Lucifer. Which is why I'm just scared because they both saw him, the spirit, go into this air vent. And hopefully it means that he's going straight to hell. It doesn't mean that he's able to get into some other body. I really hope it is. And then we get Sam and Dean under arrest for the attempted assassination of President Jeff. And Rick shows up there with the Secret Service and they arrest them. Take them in this armored vehicle.
So they only erased the memories for all of the Secret Service earlier in the episode for that moment, right? So Rick is still thinking of these two cult members that are trying to assassinate the president.
Exactly. That's his only memory and recollection of it because it doesn't go back to when Mr. Ketch came and showed them because his memory was cleared for that point. And so we get Cass and Kelly. Cass has taken her to a cafe to try and, calm her down. She says she's going to get up and go to the bathroom. And of course, we know that that's not what she's really doing. She goes out the back door, grabs a taxi, calls Cass and says she can't give up the baby. It's her child.
But it's also the spawn of Lucifer, so take that into consideration.
Doesn't matter. It's her baby now.
Okay.
She's not giving it up. That's why I don't think they spent enough time trying to convince her of what the repercussions of having this child are going to do.
They had to spell it out for her, like, if you have this child, this is what's going to happen to
Yes.
the world.
Yes.
Oh, come on.
They needed to be more clear with her and literally couldn't Castiel just put his hands to her forehead and be like, I'm sorry that I have to kill this baby, but I have to.
Could he do that?
I don't know if he could or not. Lucifer will return soon, confirmed. Yes, yes, yes. Hopefully as Mark, I agree. I don't know if that meat suit is available, but let's hope that it is. So let's get into some predictions.
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
We return on January 26th, so that's like 6 weeks from now, which Cass actually says to Mary that they've been gone 6 weeks, 2 days, and 10 hours. They're placed in a jail.
We get Mary back.
We get Mary back. Yay.
Yeah.
Of course, to now worry about the boys being gone for this and on the hunt for them. Sam and Dean are in a jail that doesn't exist. They go to a place where nobody knows. So who's going to be able to find them? I thought that this was just going to be very easy. They'd escape by next episode, but this does not look like it's going to be that easy. But it also seems as though Cass and Mary are out looking for them in the woods, which is where it seems this kind of jail was located. And the Secret Service men are instructed to shoot them, Cass and Mary. So if anything, they're going to be put with Sam and Dean, which I think is going to make the escape a lot easier. That's my prediction.
Or harder.
No, because Cass will be able to get them out then.
Okay.
That's my thought.
Okay.
What are you thinking, Katie?
I think that's a good prediction. I'm excited to see what this place is. It's kind of creepy that if this really does exist, places like this.
I think they do exist, as scary as it is.
Yeah.
What do you think's going to happen with Rowena and Crowley? You think they're on a little vacay together?
I think so. I don't know unless we need everybody, the whole gang, to try to break the boys out of there. But Rowena might be running off to find a new fiance at this point.
Yes, she may be, considering this is her big thing. I agree. Kelly Kelly's just somewhat Rowena saying that Kelly was stupid, the baby's going to kill her, which that is the question, kind of like in, I hate to bring up Twilight again, but that's what they had to worry about with Bella, that the baby was going to kill her because of it being a vampire, but she was somehow able to live. So I don't know how that works in this situation. I agree, abortion is a very, very, very sensitive, touchy subject. I do not condone that at all.
Right, and it is in black and white, as this person pointed out. But for the sake of the show and it being Lucifer's baby and, you know.
Yes. It seems like it would be an easier decision to make for everybody on the outside, but as the mother of the child, that's why I don't think she's willing to give it up. She's the mother. She's already bonded and connected that this is her baby. And this is also something we have to remember. This was a big deal to her. She wanted to get married. She wanted to have children. So this is more important to her than somebody that just accidentally got pregnant that wasn't really looking to have children.
Do you think she's going to tell Jeff, since Jeff's alive, that it's his?
I mean, technically it is his.
Right. But do you think she's going to try to just go along with that story and have her happy little fairy tale, even though
That could be
things are going to get worse because
could
it's
be
the
a-
spawn of Lucifer?
that could be a dangerous little game as well, depending on whether he wants the baby or not, and wants to come out in the open with their relationship, considering they're not in the open. And what's she going to say? This is the president's baby. This is going to be a bigger deal, and we both recognize the actress, so I believe the actress is going to be around for a little while. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see what happens in 6 weeks, how far she's progressed in this pregnancy, if she's progressed 6 weeks or if she's progressed 6 months
Right.
along. Not actually 6 months, but you guys know what I'm saying. So, Ivan Soto, hi. Now I'm shouting you out. Okay, anything else we can think of before we're gone for 6 weeks? Are you guys gonna miss us? I'm gonna miss you guys. I'm gonna miss the show.
We can still talk on Twitter.
We can still talk on Twitter. I feel like this season has been so wild and so crazy, and every episode is just bigger and better, and I don't know why it is. I'm hoping it's not because this is gonna be the last season.
No.
And they're just going out with a really, really big bang.
No. I don't think it's it. I don't think it's over.
I hope that's not the case. I mean, obviously they came up with something brilliant that we've never seen before, Lucifer's baby. So they can always come up with great new ideas. The writers for the show are incredible and have kept the show alive and well for 12 seasons. But I feel like this is one of the best seasons.
Yeah. Each episode's so strong.
Each episode is so strong, and it's not the typical Monster of the Week episode. It's still building with something else, whether it's the British Men of Letters, whether it's finding Lucifer, whether it's Rowena and Crowley working with the boys. It's a really, really great, tight.
They've got a lot of huge story arcs in this season.
Yeah, there's not just something that we're kind of like waiting for it to happen or figure out what's going to happen. Like with the Grombies last season, we thought they were going to come back, and they never really did. It was never a big deal, but all of this is really, really important stuff. So.
And where is God? I mean, God and darkness on their retreat, wherever they are, but like, that's still a thing. When are they coming back?
I mean, I really hope. I didn't know. I thought maybe it'd be possible that we would get some sort of God and Amara thing, but hopefully we get it, because it's technically we're a third of the way in.
I just don't even know if we'll get it at all this season. Maybe next season.
I think we'll get it by episode 16. I think so. We'll see. All right, you guys. Katie, where can everyone chat with you and talk to you until they see you next year?
Yeah, you guys can find me on Twitter at Katie E. Campbell. That's Katie with 3 E's Campbell. Instagram at KatieCampbell13 and YouTube.com/KatieCampbellOnline. And the Vampire Diaries after show Sunday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
And this is Lyndsey here. You guys can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Lyndsey Wegner. That's LYNDSEY WEGNER, or my blog, lyndseywegner.blogspot.com. Thank you so much for joining us in the chat tonight. I'm glad we were able to keep up with it and talk to you guys. Thank you for reaching out to us on Twitter and everything. Use that hashtag ABTVSupernatural to stay in the know with us, keep us connected to everything. We'll see you January 26th. Everyone have a safe holiday season, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.